Blessings, beloveds. So, I'm here finally to do an entire July energy update, and in the end, an activation. I'm really happy to be here with you guys. I was having some troubles with the Wi-Fi and getting the right light, so I needed to compromise, and I choose a good Wi-Fi so you can hear what I'm saying without interruption. And seeing me with the light is not so important. So, blessings, beloveds. There's so much energy coming through. The moment I decide to come out live and connect with you guys, it's like I'm feeling all of you and the excitement to come together and to share and to support each other. And immediately I feel this energy. So all day I've been excited to come on here live and meet you all. So let's take a couple of breaths as we ask for this space to be prepared in the holy energy and quality of God's infinite love, light, and power. And we ask for only what is in the highest divine order for each and every one of us to come in and come through. And we ask for full protection, connection by the eternal living light, closing all negative portals, all inorganic artificial timelines. So, things are changing, beloveds, and I really feel that it is for our personality, it's very mixed emotions to be awakened and remember more and more. So we have been working so hard to remember. We've been working so hard and we have been wanting to awaken, right? And now here we are, awakened. And we have our personality, which holds the whole human experience very close. And then we have our spirit, our higher self. And it's so important that we also acknowledge the feelings of our personality and our human self, because to remember and to understand what actually is happening on this planet at this moment, and to understand what we have been undergoing in this incarnation from childhood to now, but also understand what the entire planet is undergoing, can be very emotional. So there is this aspect of ours that we need to nurture, that can feel sadness and grief and resistance in everything that has to do with the awakening. Because to be honest, we can no longer live a half awakened and half 3D life anymore. So there's so many things that we need to say goodbye to. So many people, so many things that has been nurturing us and nourishing us before, but it doesn't do that anymore. So there's this sadness and the grief that we need to allow to be there, because it's not only love and light to see what is actually happening, right? And then we have our higher self that is actually really receiving freedom codes and can have a lot of faith and hope. So we have our human personality and we have our higher self and spirit, and we need to allow both of them to have their residence in our light body, right? So the things that I'm going to talk about now might be triggering, and it's important that you take what resonates with you and you leave the rest. This is just what has been coming through for me and what is in resonance with my truth system. And I also want to say that knowledge is personal power. So gained knowledge of the field out there in the collective is really giving us personal power and gives us the opportunity to use our spiritual power and be able to assist this planet even if there's a massive amount of attacks. So right now, I want to keep talking about the attacks because there's a psychological war happening right now, and it has been ongoing for a long time. But now we not only see the psychological, very intense project, they have a psychological attack project going on completely new levels. And now it's not only the media, it's not only the songs, it's not only, you know, the articles we're seeing. Now they're streaming very advanced waves through the 5G system and through the black cubes and red cubes. And it's just important that we become aware of it. So that's also why simultaneously as we are understanding more of the dark attacks and the psychological war, you know, people say that, you know, the third world war hasn't been yet, but it is. We are having the third world war right now, but it's a silent war. It's a psychological war where they manage to stream in so much fear and victimhood and separation into the collective field that is crazy. And again, right, so we need to take care of our inner child when we start to understand what has been going on for so long and what is increasing. And in the same way, right, we are also remembering that all of that is an illusion and that we are free and that we're sovereign and that we are here and can create magic in every moment. So we're having this, in the awakening, we understand and see more of the darkness, but we remember more and more of the light. And yes, that will set on a lot of emotions. So I want to talk about the attacks. Because what the psychological war wants to do with us is to cage us into consciousness slavery. So they want us through these manipulating frequencies they're sending in to enslave our consciousness. So we are looping into fear, into victimhood, into weird, like even pictures, visuals, thoughts, all of that. So the most important thing is not to allow anyone to manipulate us. Not anyone, and not any information, no single person, no authority, or any information from media or anywhere. We don't allow anything of this to manipulate us. So we put it into we take the information that is all around this world into us, and we use our discernment. We accept it as it is. We don't try to fight the darkness or the controllers. We discern, we accept, and then we stay in neutral. Because when we manage to stay in neutral, accept, and discern, that's when we can avoid catastrophe thinking and also fear-based emotions and irrelevant, like irrational actions and reactions, because that's what they want us to do, to react, you know, irrationally, to move into fear-based energies. And God knows we all were running our lives from a fear-based state before and with catastrophe thoughts as soon as something happened. But we know better than that. And we even know that the darkest agenda right now will support the light, because the light has already won, and we are enough people awakened on this planet right now to liberate the entire planet. But that's why they're increasing their attacks too. So the most important thing is that we understand that we can no longer allow anyone else to make decisions over our life. We know what happened 2022, and that was a big lesson for us to receive, but it includes all people in our lives, our bosses, our spouses, our children. No one should decide over our life. And the moment we start to take self-responsibility over our actions and our decisions, that's when everything changes. And again, It's okay, you know, it happens in the small matters that we make the wrong decisions, but we take self-responsibility and we correct them. If everyone here on this planet would start to take self-responsibility over their own decisions, thoughts, and emotions, we would have a radical shift in 5 minutes. So this is the spiritual practice and the upgrades we're all undergoing now. So I feel we have been moved from, you know, there were so many years when we were just like flowing up there in the Lululand, connecting with all the ascended masters and angels, and now it's like, boom, practical ascension. Like, so how do you do this now in the practicality here on earth, right? So a lot of our upgrades is happening in our everyday life, in our everyday interactions. And July is going to be this space where we go between, you know, our sad, grieving personality that knows that, okay, there's big changes coming after the Lion's Gate, and just hold and take care of that, because you have the Holy Father, the Holy Mother, you have the Holy Parent inside of you, and you can parent yourself. And at the same time, we need to nourish our higher self that just loves, you know, that loves to play their favorite music, to go out to nature and remember the magic of this planet, right? So, we need to understand the gaslighting of the controllers' mad theater. Because if we look at it, the controllers have created this mad theater, and they're gaslighting us all the time. And even if we don't look at media, we have people around us that look at the media, and they bring in that energy into our field. So that's why we need our spiritual tools. We need to clear, we need to come together, we need to do activations together to stay in that strong foundation, that solid remembrance of oneness, and that we are united and together now. But in between, we have all of those around us that are being so gaslighted, as we all too. And sometimes it's like, where should I bring in the news? I know so many of us wants to move, but where should I move when the media is just distracting us and gaslighting us so much? But this shall too pass, and everything will be revealed. There will be an event where there will be this massive awakening with all of this dark theater, this crazy theater of the controllers will be revealed. And that's when we are going to need to also be so anchored, and we're being prepared for that, because there will be a chaotic moment for all of those that will understand that their entire life is collapsing and their truth system is just falling apart. So when we receive information, we can always boundary test the information. We can take it into our heart, we can breathe with it, and then we do the GFC, God Sovereign Free. We test, we boundary test anti-clockwise, and then you will see the information if it's true or not. Okay, and I want to continue also with saying that ignorance is dangerous at this stage. The attacks are so incredibly, massively hard that to move into ignorance and just think that I believe in only the light, only the light, only the light, and I don't want to know anything about the darkness, that's, you know, actually moving into ignorance. Of course, our daily practice and most of our daily spiritual practice is to feel that connection with our own inner God self, our higher self, our family of light, and remember that you are a piece of God's source operating here on earth. We need to feel that connection, and we need to strengthen that connection all the time, and remember the pure, patient, kind, generous, disciplined, diligent, and humble Christed soul that we are. That's of course the number one. But if we are ignorant about the attacks that are happening at so high level now, it is actually dangerous. So at this stage, they have really ramped up the mind control through brainwave harnessing. And how happens is that they customize the signals. They're sending customized AI signals into our field right now. So especially at nighttime. So when it's happening, it's this brainwave capturing. So they send in a signal. It is like a sound, and our brain captures that sound and that wave, and before we know it, it starts to imitate that frequency, that sound, that frequency, that information. So they start to send in victimizer energy, victimhood, and our brain starts to mimic that. And then they send in fear, and our brain starts to mimic that. They send in separation, and we start to mimic that. And before we know it, we're like, whoa, why do I feel out of alignment? And in my last live, I put a consecration you can use and state your authority, state your field, and not give consentment to any of these AI signals that goes in and uses everything that is inorganic in our body. So what this AI signals is that they disturb our thoughts, our emotions, and those that we live with. So more than ever, guys, it's important that we understand this silent war that is happening. And I also want to emphasize, that when you're noticing that you start to talk bad about yourself and you start to criticize yourself, that's most probably because they've started to send these signals in. And then we need to take time, boom, immediately, and just breathe, connect to your heart, maybe listen to a song that can assist you to connect to Source, to God, to your family of light. So, and then you command your space and you use your spiritual tools. And this is also why I wanted to create my membership, because I want to talk more. There's so much I can't speak here on Facebook because I would be banned, but I want to go deeper. I want to assist you deeper because there's so many beautiful ways to cut, clear, dissolve, and dislocate these energies from our field. So, just knowing that there's a massive psychological operation happening right now is more than enough. So when you start to see pictures, weird pictures, you start to fantasize about catastrophe thoughts about maybe your life, your career, your children, your partner, whatever. That's something, that's a sign. Like, if you can't see this, it's a sign, okay? And when you suddenly, from feeling well, starting to judge yourself, or you start to feel very triggered at other person, that's also indication that they have managed to move into your field with these incredible energies right now. Okay, so that's one part. And another part we'll be feeling in July is actually the false parenting. And this has nothing to do really with the controllers right now, because it is more of an energy that we're healing. So we have the false parenting program that we are healing deeply. And that means that especially all mother wounds, and if we have any mother wounds left, they will show up. And it can be mother to daughter, daughter to mother also, but also mother, son to mother. So since eons of lifetimes back, they separated us from our true parents, right? Our Holy Mother, Holy Father, God. And the dark mother, the lunar female, was inserted into the female lineage. And we are clearing the dark mother, the lunar female, and the mother wound on a massive collective level right now. And many of us have said yes to be part of clearing this in the collective, and we can be feeling this in our bodies. So many of us might experience this with our mother or with our daughter, or this is being amplified, or new aspects are showing up. And for some of us, we are not experiencing that because we maybe done the healing, but we are really feeling it in our womb or our genitals if you're a male, and you are clearing this for the collective. There are beautiful, holy, divine mother parts and templates that are coming in, like a new architecture for this template is being established by incredible advanced light beings that have answered the call to come here and help us, because that's like the primary wound. If we keep having our resentment and wounds towards our mother, we will never feel fully safe. We will never be able to have beautiful, deep connections. So July is this amplified field for mother healing and returning back to our true parents. I'm starting to get really sweaty because there's so much codes coming in. So just being aware of that. And you can always place yourself, in sacred space, call in your team and help them, ask them to help you heal the areas in your body that you're feeling pain in. The good part of July, now I'm going to take the good part, is that there's a massive energy of miracles coming in. And that's because we are remembering who we are. And I know that all of you are experiencing either small glimpses every day, or the time are getting lost longer and longer each day, where we just feel how magnificent we are as beings, and that this is an opportunity, and what a hard school we said yes to be here, and that there's so many future timelines ahead for us after this intense school here on Earth. I can say that Giza, the pyramid of Giza, have started to open up as a preparation for the Lion's Gate opening. And many of us have been hiding very sacred information, wisdom and teachings there that are starting to come into our field, into our crystals. If we're working with crystals, actually a lot of information is coming from the Giza, from the hidden information there into our crystals, and from our crystals emanating out to our field. And then we start to remember. And that miraculous energy of July is because we are also feeling a lot of energy for creation, a lot of energy of changing preparation. We are preparing ourselves for greater changes. And that's because we can no longer settle for good enough. And we can no longer settle for comfortable. We want freedom. We want it all. We want out of the system. So inside of us, we just know, we see the dreams. And so many of you guys are getting fragments in July of the highest timeline. And I want to say that those fragments that you're seeing is not dreams. It's true. You're seeing fragments of the timeline that you need to remember and retrieve and bring in to start the engineers inside of your body to start to manifest this into creation. So not only miracles, the energy of miracles, it will be small miracles every day if you really see them. But then also this energy of creation, this energy of preparation, and then that timeline, future timeline opening. And it's so important that you trust what you're seeing, and maybe even writing it down or drawing it, because you are one of those that are carrying the codes of the new Earth timeline. You are one of those that are the carrier of the new Earth timeline. Remember that. So all of those glimpses are important, and that we trust them, and that we have faith in them. And that's also the upgrades we are undergoing right now. The faith inside of us the trust to ourselves, our inner knowing, our connection with God's source and our family of light is getting stronger and stronger. And the upgrades is no longer about, you know, the abilities of healing and all of that. We already know that, but we need to strengthen our inner faith to ourselves, to humanity, to this ascension, to this process. So, beloveds, I also want to say that, you know, the Lion's Gate, I've never been called to do a webinar and activation on the 8th of August, because that day is very, very attacked. So for you that are joining the 3 portals with me, the message was that we shouldn't gather together for the 8-8. So that's why we are gathering in the opening of the Lion's Gate, the 25th, on Zoom, doing that activation. You can also do the replay. But on the 8-8, you are doing it in the moment you feel is right for you on the 8th of August. So we can spare ourselves the attacks that will be on the groups that are gathering in that same moment. And then we will gather once the Lion's Gate is over, and we use that closing portal to really integrate it all inside of us. So I will put the link, because I feel the group feel already. I think we're 200 that have connected already, and we're building up that group field already and strengthen it. Okay, I've talked so much. Thank you for staying for so long. I'm so sweaty. The teams wants me to channel through some activation here. So let's breathe. Breathe into your heart. Feeling this excitement, this nervousness inside of you that you are the carrier of, because you know there's huge changes ahead of us. Connect to that excitement and that nervousness of the new beginning, the new earth. Breathe and expand your heart vibration that is so full of love and truth and power. And it's enough that you know. And the teams says that you shall open your energetic field now, as there's massive amount from Atlantis coming in. There's priest and pristine energies coming into your field to strengthen. So we ask for full protection and connection by God, God's infinite love, light, and power during this activation. So open up your light body and feel and sense Atlantean codes coming in. And I see them bringing in these beautiful blue crystalline energies of priest and pristine energies, and they are infusing it into your light body, into your blueprint, and breathing it up and down through your center vertical line, feeling this pristine energy that just gives you that divine power of easily discerning, of easily accepting the terrain, the current terrain, of easily moving in to neutral observer. The Atlantean beautiful, precious codes are speaking now to me, and they say that you might see yourself in your pristine energy, or just feel yourself in your Atlantean pristine energy, and just understand that you're retrieving this pristine energy right now back to earth, where you can be in so much love for all that is, love for you and even your enemies, because you trust so deeply, and you know, and you have the divine truth inside of you. And all around you, you feel, and all within you, you feel that pristine divine power with very, very strong boundaries energetic boundaries. And they say that no is a full sentence. So in front of us, we're being guided to this beautiful water of Atlantis. It is the water of Atlantis. It's this beautiful blue water. If you feel guided, you can kneel down and then you start to pour water over your head as you receive the pristine Atlantean energies deeper into your physical body. So feel that you're receiving the codes, the Atlantean pristine codes into your physical energy body. And feeling and pouring them into the emotional energy body. And pouring them over you and into your mental energy body. And allowing this pristine energy of the water, the Atlantean water, to wash over you and clear and cleanse and activate your spiritual energy body. Allowing now the water to purify. I see these beautiful codes are creating like a protection, like a water seal of protection for a lot of the attacks right now. So the team says that you can always place yourself in a bubble of the Atlantean water codes and ask for a purification and extra protection when you feel yourself out of alignment. And now the water starts to move into your heart and clear and cleanse any judgment towards yourself, self-doubt, or fear for the future. And the water keeps moving into your heart and activating deeper levels of self-love. Now I see that you are becoming like this fountain of this pristine energy, and the water and the energy and the codes is emanating out from your light pillar like a waterfall, like this fountain. And the pristine codes are not only now being given to you, but you are giving them out as a fountain out to the collective. Now, third eye is getting opened, and one vision is being given to you, if it is for the highest, a vision from the Atlantean timeline as a priest or priestess. See the visual and now feel the energy you were carrying there. The faith, the trust, the inner knowing, the self-love, and the love and compassion to all. Breathe. And allow this to be recorded into your heart, into your cellular memory. And now we just contract our field a little bit, coming back into this present moment and down, setting all these codes down to earth. Just ground yourself, removing ourselves from the Atlantean waters. We still have all the pristine Atlantean energies within us, working with us throughout July. Breathe. And you can revisit this place, the team says, in sacred space whenever you wish, and continue and deepen the work as we ask for this work to be sealed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so be it, so be it. It is done. take a couple of breaths and come slowly back. Beloveds, thank you for this beautiful time together. Please, as always, leave what doesn't resonate with you and take what resonates with you. I hope this could assist you. Maybe you can re-listen to this throughout July when it's intense, so you can get a remembrance of what is actually happening, because they do distract us all the time, and they actually go in and work with our memory banks. They can remove certain things from our memory banks, so maybe going back and re-listening to it. And please share if anything came through for you during the transmission or the activation. It's always so beautiful for me to read. I always read your comments. And yes, I will put the link also for the Lionsgate. I hope all of you will be joining. I hope it will be many, 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 because those 3 activations will be life-changing to do together. We haven't done 3 in a row together in that way, and the number of 3 is magical, we know that. And in the year of 8 and the 8-8 and all the infinity, oh my God, I'm sweating so much. That's a sign of a good transmission and activation on massive codes. I love you all so much. We stay connected, and you know I'm doing that free 7-day before the Lionsgate opening, so we have a lot of time together, because this journey is supposed to be together. All else is just boring and not in alignment to what we came here to do. I love you, I honor you, I'm in your loving service. Blessings. Mwah.